Alright, so I have lock the car. What is good? It is a cold, cold night. Um, um, I'll put whatever temperature it is somewhere around, but it is very cold. I'm in a singlet. I have a polo that I could wear that is currently on my waist. Oh, it is colder than expected, but it'll walk for us. The wind is not ideal. But that's okay. And, we like that. Um, yeah, I have previously recorded some walking videos. And my dumbass did not think to use my tripod to help record as a little selfie stick, I guess, because I have previously been recording just from an obscene angle because I don't want to hold my arm up. Yeah, I've had my hand like down by my waist, and you're just looking up at the bottom of my face. Looking into my nose. You can't really see anything. Plus, I was filming in portrait mode, which is really good for reels, TikToks. But I did want this to be more long form content, so I might release little clips from my previous 3 or 4 walks that I'd recorded and put them on TikTok. But I think this will be a lot better for the YouTube, and it'll help not having to really edit anything, play with the sound a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how it looks, and then go from there. Have to make sure it's still recording. The amount of times I've hit a little posing video and then realized I haven't been recording is a bit shocking. Realizing I'm out of battery, out of storage. Out of storage shouldn't be a problem anymore because I'm a buffoon who pays for iCloud. No. Yeah, I used to have the 200 gigabyte package. Started running out of storage. I take a lot of videos and I don't delete a lot of things, so just builds up. Not ideal. If I had to estimate, I think earlier it was about 8 degrees. It definitely feels colder now. My arm that is holding this is definitely frozen. Everyone driving past is definitely judging me for one. I'm walking at like close to it's 11 p.m. It's not too bad. Not as bad as usual. Usually I'm on the midnight to 1 a.m. But exam season, can't be out too late doing random shenanigans. But it is chilly. It is very, very chilly. Out in singlet, recording myself with a tripod, a little microphone. I don't know if they'll be able to see the microphone, but I'll be able to see the tripod at least. Oh, but yeah, you know, I as you can see, sometimes I'll think of something to say. I'll I'll begin to speak, and then I realize maybe it's like something I shouldn't talk about, or like I can't be bothered getting into. Um, but yeah, I do like to yap, and I mean, I've got two 2 hours ish, possibly more. Yeah, more than 2 hours of footage of me just walking around, yapping to myself at midnight. Um, and yeah, most of that, no one's ever gonna see. Basically, all of that. Who knows if anyone's ever gonna see this, right? But yeah, I enjoy to yap. And sometimes, you know, you can't get someone out at midnight to walk with you. Uh, People have lives, so I've resorted to, you know, yapping to myself. And because sometimes the topics can be a bit entertaining, we are recording it, chucking it on YouTube, minimal editing, just 45 minutes of yap. I don't know. You can maybe watch it while you try to sleep. Um, I'm one of those people that puts on a YouTube video to sleep. Usually, like maybe like a Click reaction, no, Click Productions, little NBA 2K YouTuber. Say little, it's a pretty big YouTuber. Or Cracking the Triptych, that's a classic. Old mate doing some Sudoku and other puzzles. Hour long, soothing voice. I don't know how soothing my voice is. And you probably hear my chain dangling every few seconds. Hear me get out of breath because I want this walk to be over. My arm is frozen. But yeah, just a little bit of a yap. You also find myself repeating things, so looping back around. A lot of times I'll forget where I was going and things, going off a random tangent, loop back, and then continue off from what I was saying like 10 minutes ago. Uh, yeah, this will just be, if you don't know me, this will give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm like. If you do know me, it'll just feel like you're stuck in a padded room with me for 45 minutes. And I don't know, maybe some of you would enjoy that. You freaks. Shout out on YouTube, I posted some shorts. 99% male audience. Shout out the male gaze. Always do it for the male gaze. The male gaze and the male gaze, if you will. And also, on like, I don't know about TikTok, but yeah, my TikTok is fucking basically non-existent. On Instagram, my followers are, I think, 85% male. You know, let's keep it up. Um, love the support from my young, distinguished gentleman. I don't know. If anyone has seen me interact with people, probably at the gym mostly. Uh, uh, I got asked by someone about. Uh, I'm surprised you don't get any um, gay accusations. I do here and there, um, which I guess makes sense. Um, a little zestiness never hurt anyone. Uh, Me and the guys, we hyper obsess over our muscular development. Uh, Hit the tongue emoji, not emoji, tongue emote at the lads. Um, yeah, classic. You ain't doing it right. I have gum in my mouth right now, so I don't want to go too hard. You ain't doing it right if you don't have like you don't have to clean your face after. Real ones, your tongue better be slapping on the side of your face. Pause, the biggest pause. But like, it's nice. Maybe I'll have a gym vlog that'll be like 2 hours long, and you'll see it just like every other person I see is just, and they do it back. Most of them. Uh, some of them it took a while to get into it, but uh, my influence on my fellow men is large. That reminds me. Speaking of the tongue emote, just make sure this is recording. Chilling. The tongue emote. We play. Oh, we played a social basketball comp earlier this year. Just a little 3v3 comp. Um, and there's this like team of, to us unks, they're probably like in their 30s or 40s, and one of them, uh, real chill bloke, I think he stole the ball off my mate, and bro just turned around and said cookies, and oh yeah, that's a proper tongue emote. Hit the tongue emote. We're just so confused. Like, where did Unk pull that out from? Unk stays in the loop. Um, Unk is tapped in. Uh, yeah, it'd be good to have a little gym vlog. I feel like I have some really fun, and to me they're entertaining. Sometimes to people around me they're entertaining as well. My interactions with people at the gym. Some people are just like, what is this? Right? Those that are um, uninitiated. Uh, oh, speaking of initiations, you know, back in high school, we used to do what we call initiations. They weren't really initiations. because like they just happened to everyone in our group like multiple times, you know, not when you're joining the group, just like basically every other lunchtime. And honestly, I don't know why the teachers never stopped us from partaking in those activities. Yeah, I don't think I want to go into it, but then it's worse if I don't. I'll let the imagination run wild. If you know, you know, I guess.
Hey, you know how I do it.
Oh Lord. Ah, sky does look pretty nice. Um, you guys are probably seeing everything in like 240p right now. Ooh. I don't know if you would see that. Do I have goosebumps? I can't really even tell. Oh yeah, yeah, I do. The average Thursday night stroll. No. Speaking of gym, even though we were speaking of gym like 5 minutes ago back there, but I am currently cutting. If as do not know, currently at 89 to 90 kilos. Fasted in the morning, which not bad. I do want to get down to the 80, 82 range. So pretty lean. I properly started my cut at like 96, 95. Down about 7 kilos. The end of my bulk was at like 98 kilos, but we had a little bit of, on and off cutting. I said I was cutting, but like some circumstances kind of prevented that. And I basically just maintained slash like I'd like go down a little bit and then just right back up. But life happens. You're not gonna stay perfectly on plan. But we are locked in. I have half a kilo of chicken mince that I will prepare when I get home. That's gonna be pretty fun to eat. I know why I've been like just spamming half a kilo of things. Half a kilo of protein Greek yogurt with a couple scoops of protein powder in there. Half a excuse me, half a kilo of balsa fillet. Balsa fillet is OP when it comes to cutting, by the way. Like a solid 500 grams is, I think, 140 kilos. 140 kilos. 140 grams of protein. And I think about 600 calories, which, mind-boggling. Barely any fat on there. I think it's like, 1 point something grams of fat a serving. And a serving, like, I think there's 4 servings in half a kilo. So you get like, 5-6 grams of fat. Um, insane macros, plus it's relatively cheap pasta fillet. Getting a kilo for $7 at Aldi. Aldi's so goated. Like, telling me I can get frozen, you have to prepare it. Ooh. But like 280 grams of protein for $7 with a total, like, in the whole kilo, there's like 10 to 15 grams of fat. I'll put the macros up, but whew, that is diabolical. I had the other day just a bowl. I air fried my Barca fillet, no seasonings. Yeah. I could have put some salt and pepper on there, but I didn't, unfortunately. Yeah. Half a kilo of Barca in a bowl, just crushed up with a fork after air frying, with, honestly a solid amount of sriracha, and just, yeah, gobble that up with a spoon. That was a hard eat. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it filled you up. So anyone that feels hungry on a cut, get half a kilo of Barca fillet in you. You'll be fine. I've seen a lot of dishes with like rice paper, like seaweed noodles, I think, and rice noodles. But I don't know. I tend to goofier looks. I'm getting. I tend to another quick recording check. I tend to not eat breakfast, and honestly, I didn't feel too bad. Like, I don't know, I ate out today, had some Nando's, nothing too crazy, but just having a little takeout meal here and there. It feel on point. Honestly, 80% of the time, right, you're gonna be fine. Like, especially me right now, I am on a little experimental cut where I'll have two types of days. One is very, very extreme deficit, and about half my days I try to aim for that extreme deficit of about, my maintenance, I think, right now is probably that's a Jeep from earlier. My maintenance is probably like 3K, probably a bit under now that I've been cutting. My low day is like 15 to 1700 calories. That's like extreme deficit. I don't think I need to be that low, but I do. And then my higher days are about 22 to 2300. Which, good lord, bro, is flying. Still pretty big deficit. If I feel, extremely dead, I'll go, like, after too many days in a row of the 1700 range, I'll go up to the 2400 max, 2200 most of the time. Honestly, even like 2100. As long as it doesn't go over 2400. And that gets me feeling okay. And yeah, a little bit of that, straight back down to 1700. And I haven't noticed strength losses yet, like major. I've had, honestly, some strength increases still, which is kind of hectic, you know? I'm getting to almost getting consistently about 25 kilos on cuff single arm cable extensions. I don't know why, but I have become addicted to training triceps. I always go in thinking, 2 sets of extensions, 2 sets of jam press. I do the 2 sets, and I crave a third. I'm like, holy fatigue, but I enjoy it, And at the end of the day, one extra set of tricep extensions with a single arm isn't gonna be the death of me. Will I be a bit more fatigued? Sure, that's fine. I do push pull legs. I'll recover. That probably sounded bad. My bad for touching the mic. I'll recover. I'll atrophy. No. 48 hours and I begin to atrophy. It's fine. I know massive blokes that do a bro split. At the end of the day, the gym is a hobby. It's a hobby I'm very, very invested into. You know what? It's kind of a lie. To some people, it is a hobby, but it is kind of a lifestyle. I very much enjoy the gym. I like finding out more about biomechanics and human physiology. And trying to maximize hypertrophy. Obviously, if I was full hypertrophy pilled, sorry, you'd see me hitting full body every other day, 1 set Keenan flaps. I don't even if I was full hypertrophy pilled, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd do Newton supinations. I've heard very mixed things about them for biceps. Let's not get run over today. I know. I can see you, buddy. Don't need to high beam me. Might have been police. Probably is police. I think it was undercover police. But someone is taking out the bins. It is indeed bin day. Hello, undercover police. I feel like I have some friends that I can have really good conversation with. Some of them is like, really deep conversations, but then can also switch up to pretty humorous takes. Um, what the hell is that? That sounds like a little motorbike, dirt bike maybe. I don't know. Don't run me over, please. That's sparks coming off that moped. I think bro's tires are gone, or a tire, or something's dry. I don't know. Uh, very interesting. I have a slight suspicion that the car coming back this way might be the police car. No, it's not. Looks like a Hyundai or Honda van. I don't know. Some type of van. A lot of people here in Australia, in Brisbane, we are not really accustomed to the cold climate, and neither are our houses. Especially my room specifically. In our house, in the summer, my room is the hottest room in the house, and in the winter, I have the coldest room in the house. I guess zero insulation, but it's just something I have to deal with, I guess. There's pros and cons to both the heat and the cold. Obviously, the fits are a lot nicer. You can layer up. Don't have to worry about absolutely sweating, wearing anything more than shorts and a t-shirt. Another recording check. We are 35 minutes in. Very nice, very nice. Some of the longer days are nice. Going to sleep while sweating, if you don't have aircon, can be a bit of a struggle. But for the most part, sleeping and waking up are not a problem in the summer. The time you're awake is stinking hot, but you deal with it. In the winter, days are shorter. Nighttime is freezing cold. I sleep in socks sometimes because my feet get freezing. But waking up is horrendous because you're nice and warm, snuggled up in bed with your two pillows, your little squishmallow, and your blankie, and then it's like 6 a.m. if you need to wake up that early, or most days, 9 a.m. these days. You get up and it's just like, sucks. As soon as your feet hit the cold wooden floor, it sucks. I'm a bit mental, so I like to take cold showers. Not because I'm so Sigma, based. I just like mostly during the daytime, or right before I go to the gym. I'll be in the warm shower, have a song with a nice drop. Bury the light deep within. And just as it's about to drop, turn off a hot water. And then as it drops, it just goes to cold water. If you time it right, especially with a good song that you really like, it is wonderful. And you get so hyped for the gym. You get out of the shower. And one good thing about a cold shower, once you get out of that cold shower, you feel a bit colder for a second, the wetness of your skin and the cold air. And then miraculously, because, obviously it's cold in the shower, then so once you dry yourself off, of course, you feel warmer, you don't feel the cold as much. Because, the juxtaposition. If you put your hand in a freezing tub and then, a cool tub that's still pretty cold, or not freezing, you're gonna feel like it's warm. Because you've been in the freezing tub. In comparison, the cool tub is amazing. Do not do cold showers before you sleep though, because you'll stay up. You will definitely stay up. And also, I think your body's supposed to, like, the room's supposed to be cold for you to get a good sleep. I think, I don't know if this is even right, but allegedly 18 degrees is like a nice sweet spot for a good sleep. Who knows? But yeah, it is nice sleeping when it's cold. When you're like nice and snuggled up, of course. And having a cold shower, body temperature starts heating up, It's not ideal. Have a warm shower, you start, honestly, it's pretty mellowing having a warm shower. My eyes don't have to high beam me. That's okay. That's okay. Shout out the little WRX. What was that sound? Honestly, that last little bit might have been accurate. I don't know if the mic picked that up. It's a bit far away. Whew. It'd be very interesting to see at what point I stop shivering, because the beginning of this walk I was absolutely freezing. That's not, I'm cold, but I'm surviving. Yeah. I don't know if I want to start talking about anything else. I'm pretty close to home. Done my little lap. So I guess goodbye.